I've been in ministry now for a few decades, and I'm noticing the level of brokenness in people is getting worse. Every day we work in an environment of broken people by calling, and learning how to navigate that, it's heavy. You got to learn how to do it.
We have the goal of freedom in Christ and helping people access that, but the plan was missing, the tool, the actual how are we going to get there.
One particular day in a staff meeting, as we were looking at the next 24 months, I happened to ask, what is so from hell that you want to see it gone? And we began to write on these big glass boards. And I sat back and I looked at that board and I said, you know what, y'all? Every bit of that has one common theme, and that's bondage. I said, we need to install Keys to Freedom because we know that exists in our church. It exists in every church. And it could be the vehicle that we get truth installed into how to deal with this stuff, because it's not going anywhere till you deal with it.
I hope this is a place where people can come that really need help. People really care here and they want to help you and they want to see you free.
So as a staff, we've been through the Keys to Freedom first, which was critical in our journey because we had to really deal with this in our own spiritual walks and our own thought processes of what we believed and we didn't believe and what we learned through the Keys to Freedom. Once our staff completed Keys to Freedom, we were willing to walk the rest of the church body through that.
I think in most churches, the staff team that leads ministries, there's just an assumed community that is around it because you're kind of around a common goal. That is that we do all show up wearing the same thing every day and we come in the same doors and we do the same kinds of work, sit in the same meetings, but there's not really a sense of community, of unity around certain things. We're not necessarily walking life together. We're just walking through the office together. I think the Keys, I've seen that pay a huge dividend with regard to the just sense of unity in our team that couldn't have been realized without it.
The great hurdle is for the average church to realize that Keys to Freedom is not just a tool for people with life-altering broken issues. It's far bigger than that. Keys to Freedom is for every believer. So what we began to do as a staff is we went from the idea of doing Keys to actually doing the Empower workshops. We wanted our people, our Bible study leaders, our volunteers, we began to open up. Hey, we will help get you to those Empower conferences because we want you to be equipped to know how to spot lies, how to inject truth into situations if you're a Bible study teacher, how to address your own situations and those with your friends and your family.
I will say that the Empower Workshop has been a great tool for us because it brings another expert to the table where Clearview staff doesn't have to be the expert in this area.
It's hard for me to express even how impactful Mercy and the different arms of ministry that they have there have truly impacted our church. It has resourced us with so many powerful tools that have allowed us to do ministry more effectively.
So how are we going to meet people where they are, not what we want them to be? And we're going to have to be equipped for that. And I think what Mercy's doing is trying to equip the church for Christian brokenness, helping understand that you've got really great people that have really tough issues. There's redemption that's possible. So how do we deal with that in the church? Because if we can't deal with it there, where can we deal with it?
It's like God is preparing our church to be equipped to help, just like Mercy does. They're showing, leading the way on how we can help and care for people.
Mercy has done an incredible job of specializing right here in this concept of freedom. And so there has not been one moment of regret since we decided to link arms with Mercy.
What they've done is they've given people like me a place to go to say, hey, we got some tools over here, and we also have some real ways to install them, and they've become a good partner. So I think that as we've seen the need in brokenness happening, and even in our church, Mercy's provided an avenue to go to get the resources in real time, and that's been a massive de-stressor for me, and to know that we got a place to go to get that help. I want to lead my people well, and if I'm going to lead them down the place, this thing gets really messy, and you need to know that. But it's already messy. You're just actually finally dealing with it, and it was affecting your congregation in ways you don't realize. And so I would say to every pastor, do it.